Thank you for joining my session today on detecting and responding to PrintNightmare. The first task we're going to do is identifying PrintNightmare vulnerable systems. So as you can see here, I have opened my browser to the Ordr interface, and we will go first to security. And notice that PrintNightmare itself is called out both as a vulnerability and as an attack. So first, to identify systems that are vulnerable to PrintNightmare, we will go here to the vulnerabilities column and PrintNightmare vulnerability. From there, we'll begin to see a list of systems that are vulnerable to PrintNightmare. Here, notice there's the vulnerability. This icon here shows me a list of all devices that have that alarm. In this case, it's 3,842 devices that match that filter. We could export that list then, copy to the clipboard, do other things with it. And what we really want to do then is to go to Microsoft's security advice for PrintNightmare, which happens to be CVE 2021-34-527, displayed here from Microsoft, and follow their advice for what to do with these systems, which here are some workarounds for it, as well as they have a patch available. So please refer to Microsoft's advice on what patch to install, and how to mitigate those systems. Further, there's a little bit more in-depth guidance here. This KB article 500-5010, restricting installation of new print drivers after applying the patch or update. So once you have worked through these mitigation steps, they suggest, Microsoft being they, that you move forward into how to resolve not allowing it to install a new driver, which would also mitigate this attack. So those are your first two steps for systems that are vulnerable to PrintNightmare. Let's shift gears now and go, let's look for it active in my network and what to do about that. So I will close this and show you here, based on internal communications, Ordr has illustrated PrintNightmare attack as a category. I can just go ahead and click on that. And that will bring up a list of systems of the attack first, and then of systems, again, using the show list of devices that are actually executing a PrintNightmare attack in your network currently. There may be any number of actions that you want to take against those two systems that are currently trying to exploit PrintNightmare. But one thing you can do right from here is to immediately generate a block list for them, block list and port shut them, or generate a CLI. I might simply, if I have the integrations turned on with my switcher router, block them right now. And that's exactly what would happen if I follow this step, is they will be pushed from the network. I can push them from the network and shut their ports immediately, or I may just generate the CLI that is necessary to block these two until I can get them remediated. The key here is that I'm able to see right away which systems are executing that attack through this mechanism of understanding internal communications patterns that Ordr has shown me. So this is the simplest way to both identify what on my system is vulnerable and what in my network is executing that attack. Thanks for joining our session today.